Our motoring tip of the week concerns today and yesterday. Now this is Howard's 71 Chev C10 pickup truck. Now I came out of high school in 1974, so 1971 vehicles were the first things I was working on, certainly in that sweet spot of the very first vehicles that I started working on as an apprentice mechanic. So it's really cool for me to look at Howard's truck here today. Now, it just so happened that the shop that took me on as an apprentice mechanic had a fleet customer that had a whole fleet of these Chevy C10 pickups with 307 V8s, some with 350 V8s like this particular one. And lots of them had standard transmissions. I changed my first clutch on one of these vehicles. I did my first timing chain, my first cylinder head gasket jobs. I literally cut my teeth on a small block Chevy engine just like the one in this truck. And that was the neat thing back then. They were so simple and straightforward. It was monkey see, monkey do in a lot of cases. You looked at it, you could figure it out just by looking at the layout of things, how it worked, how it went together, how it came apart, how you'd go about fixing it. You had a little direction from the shop foreman and the senior guys in the shop, of course. That's always the case, and that's still the case today. But you could cut your teeth on these, and you could do an awful lot before you got into trouble. And you really never got all that deep into trouble. No matter what you did on these things, they were very forgiving, which is, you know, one of the many reasons why so many people restore them. They're plentiful, they were well built, they survived. There's just a plethora of aftermarket and stock replica parts available for small block Chevys or any Chevy vehicle of this vintage for that matter. So they're great trucks to restore if you need to, or in the case of Howard's truck, well maintained since day one, 47 years old, still going strong. On the tailgate of this truck, there's a decal denoting disc brakes. 71 was the first year for disc brakes on the front axle of these pickups. Previously, they had drum brakes on all four corners. Now, you know, that was a cool thing to advertise, obviously. Hey, I've got disc brakes. But I was told as well that it was to warn drivers behind you, if they had a four-wheel drum brake vehicle, that you could probably outbrake them. So they needed to give you a little bit more of a gap there so you didn't rear end them. The key thing here, it applied then, it applies today. If you look after the vehicle, the powertrain and all the mechanicals, don't use it rough, don't use it, you know, for things it was not intended for, and you maintain it, it's gonna last you just like it does today. Same thing back then. That's a rule that's been like this forever. That's your motoring tip of the week.